Hi friends, it's Star Thrifter and I wanted to do a little video in regards to either slow sales or how to increase sales. If you've not watched any of my videos before, I sell full time and I sell on eBay and I also sell on Poshmark, but we'll get right on to it. There's nothing more frustrating than slow sales, is there? I know. Especially this last year has been kind of challenging. Anybody that's been reselling for a while would notice the difference. And anyways, I just thought that I would do a short video in regards to what I have been finding lately that seems to be increasing sales. My sales have really come up. Now we are, this is fourth quarter, and I know that the sales, will come up some from that too. But there's some just different guidelines, different things that I've tried. But on eBay, it can get really confusing with, should you promote or not promote, or do returns or not returns, or pay for shipping, and there's just a lot of facets to it. In regards to my eBay, I charge for shipping. I don't do free shipping, and I know a lot of people do like that business model, and eBay may favor that a little bit, and maybe you could be up a little bit higher in the search ranks if you're offering free shipping, but I don't know. But I do know that a couple of the really big sellers, they do not offer free shipping, and they're doing really great, like a couple million a year. I sell clothing. Once in a while I'll sell some miscellaneous stuff or shoes, but for the most part I sell clothing. But this can apply to regardless, basically of whatever you sell. In regards to returns, I used to always offer returns with the buyer paying returns. Well, then quite some time ago, I did switch it to the free returns, and I did find, notice a boost in sales. I really did. However, when I played with the, whether the 30-day return or the 60-day or whatever, which I think is ridiculous. Really, 15 days would be really ideal, wouldn't it? I know there's still some categories where you can choose, I think, 14 days. But with clothing, I don't think that's an option. But anyhow, then I was getting a lot of returns, a lot. And it gets really frustrating. And plus, you don't want your return rate to get too high. But, I was selling, a little bit, selling more with that. But then, when we went through the slowdown and everything for summer slowdown, and then still getting a lot of returns, in clothing, you're always going to get some. But there was just a lot of them. And I turned off returns totally. Turned it off. No returns. Sales tanked. They really did. I had to turn it back on, and right now I have it for the 30-day, but the buyer paying for return shipping. The thing that I've noticed the most, no matter what, whether you're selling on eBay or even on Poshmark, is that the more you list every day, the more you're going to sell every day. Like I always say, list, 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 and it is true. The more volume that you can list every day, the more you're going to sell every day. And you got to stay consistent. If you go a few days and quit listing, I really notice it anyways. My sales really start tanking. I really like to list 20 a day if possible. It's been kind of a challenge for me to find enough inventory to list 20 a day. And that's, for a long time, I did 7 days a week. I was doing like 10 or 15 or whatever. And then I did 20 for a while, I think. But lately I've been, taking one day off a week, and the last couple weeks there's been a couple of days I've taken off. And if you go, if I notice that if I go more, than a day or two without listing, the sales really tank. So it's really important. What you can do if you don't want to list every day is you can always create some, listings, save them in your drafts, and then just post them, on the days that you're not going to work. But that is number one. I say number one is listing every day. But of course you want to make sure that it's items that are going to sell. You don't want to list just anything, because then if you have a lot of stuff in your store and it's just sitting for a long period of time, that can really pull down your store, they say. And you don't want, that either. The other thing that I've been finding that's really been working great is the end sell similar. eBay even has admitted it now that if your items are listed more than 9 months, they basically go to the bottom. Even when you're in sales and stuff, it's not going to bring them up too much. You need to end and sell similar. They are even suggesting that now. However, I don't necessarily wait that 90 days, the 9 months for sure, especially with clothing. But what I was doing there for a while is I would just, do 5 or 10, that was getting ready to end and relist. You know how they automatically relist. I would end them and do the sell similar. But what I've been doing now, since I learned how to bulk do it from my desktop, and if you don't know how to do that, I have a video up in regards to how to do that and in simular. Pretty sure I have that up on already, and on that topic. And what I'll do is I'll do like 20 or 40 or more a day. That has been increasing my sales. And those items are starting to get some attention or will sell that have been sitting for a really long time. Listing every day and that end sale similar has been the two number one big things. Now, let's talk promoted listings. Big controversy in it. I don't like it. I don't like having to pay those extra fees because it really adds up, after, because you're already paying, your selling fees and things like that, and you got to add this on top of it. And from my understanding, even with promoted listings, you are being charged, on the item price and also on the shipping. I don't know about tax. I think you are. I know you are for the final value fees or whatever. You are getting charged, on the tax on that. However, it is a really great benefit that eBay is collecting that tax and submitting it for us, because that's a huge thing to have to do on your own. Huge, because then you'd have to get a sales tax license in all of the states. And what that does is, oh, I'm sorry, not on that. That's for, I was getting that a little confused. That's on Amazon when you would send it in as FBA, because you don't know what warehouse it would go to. Whenever it would sell in the different states, because it's not at your location, then you would have to pay, sales tax. But I think, it was there for a while, just at the state where you live. If you like sell on eBay and all, you have all your inventory, in the state or the state that you live. But anyhow, at your location. But on eBay, what should you do in regards to the promoted listings? At first, I just, would do 1% or 2%, or I might did more and then moved it to 1 or 2, but that wasn't doing anything. For a while there, I bumped it up. I bump it up. I do the recommended on some pieces as I was listing it. Now I've been bulk editing that. And I think have a video up on that. If you don't know how to bulk edit, doing promoted listings from the desktop, you could check that out. But anyways, in regards to checking out those other videos, all you have to do is subscribe. And then when you subscribe, you can click on, my little, the name and the little picture, whatever. And then it at the top there, it'll say like videos. You click on that and it'll list them all. And then you also get notifications, or you can click on the notifications and you'll know when I upload more new ones. But anyhow, with the promoted listings, I tried 15% for a while. That's a lot, because you figure even at base, which is more than that, your final value fees is 10, 12, could be 15, depending on if you're top rated seller and things like that. And add that on top, that was quite a bit, But anyhow, lately, I've been having it at around 10%. Anything new listed, I was just going like 1 or 2, but I've been doing 5% lately. But that's where it's at right now. I do not know. I do know, though, when I went down to like 1 or 2% or whatever, my sales also seemed to go, drop too, when I went that low on the promoted listing. That is in the clothing category. You know that mostly the clothing category is oversaturated. And if you're in a category where it's not, that's a whole different story. Or if you have a piece of clothing that there's not very many listings listed, then you don't need to promote a lot, because your listing's already going to probably be on that first page. But when you're doing the average clothing, somebody might have to scroll and scroll and scroll like tons and tons. I mean, there could be, thousands and thousands of the same item. And that's where the promoted listings work. Now, I don't like the idea of having to pay promoted listings. The only nice thing is it does give you a little bit more option, that if you want to pay a little bit for promoted listings, then yes, then you can boost your listings up higher, and that's the whole concept of it. Does it work out? Yeah, I think it does, even though it was a lot to pay in promoted listings, but it really did seem to increase the sales. I don't know, still kind of playing around with that. But anyhow, these are a few strategies that I have tried in regards to increasing sales and what has worked. And if you'd like, you can leave in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. Some strategies that you've tried that really have worked to increase sales. Anyhow, and if you'd like I said, you can subscribe. I got a lot of other videos up too on, you know, different tips and things, and then also on, you know, thrift hauls and for, you know, eBay and Poshmark and things like that. But a lot of other, you know, eBay, you know, tips and stuff. And then if you could do me a favor and push the thumbs up button, I'd greatly appreciate that too. Anyhow, many prosperous sales to you. Thank you.